All right, we are live. Welcome, everybody. This is Peter Voogd, founder of the prestigious Game Changers Academy, and thanks for tuning into our monthly Millionaire video series where we interview the world's most elite and successful entrepreneurs, CEOs, entertainers, and game changers, people that I have massive respect for, and those who are making a massive difference, not just in their industries, but in the world. And we have a very special guest today who I'm fired up because not many people can match my energy. And I think this guy has me matched or even beat. But I've been excited about this for a while. Ed Mylett is a self-made millionaire who built one of the most prolific financial service businesses on the planet, one of the top speakers, leaders, peak performance experts. And he's speaking today with an amazing group of entrepreneurs as well, including Alex Rodriguez, my boy Gerard Adams, and some other amazing speakers. He joined World Financial Group in 1992. And I'm sure it's been a crazy ride we're going to discuss today. But because of his outstanding ability to inspire people, he quickly advanced to one of the highest rankings, becoming the company's youngest CEO marketing director in only a few years. And he's achieved massive success. Ed has a passion for mentoring and coaching people. We just talked about it a couple minutes ago. He goes, I don't do this for money. I do this because I want to change the game and help people. And that just gives me chills thinking about someone that's already made the millions that wants to give back and build a world-class lifestyle. So his passion, you can definitely hear it coming out when he speaks. He's built a net worth of over 200 million by 45 with an 8-figure annual salary still. And he has very close relationships with some of the legends in the game, Tony Robbins, John Maxwell, Phil Knight, Grant Cardone, and many others. He's also one of the fastest growing men on social media. But what impresses me most personally is he's a world-class dude. He puts being world-class, he puts integrity and ethics first. So dead broke to 200 million, still has a massive hunger for crushing it and pushing his limits. Not a big social media following to 900,000 followers, 175,000 subscribers, and one of the top podcasts in the world. And he's truly living a world-class life, but he's also giving back and inspiring people. So Ed, my man, thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it, and I'm excited to dive in.
Man, all-time greatest intro. Thank you. I mean, that was a lot. I had to be at least 12% of that was true too. So thank you, brother.
Oh, that's funny. That's awesome.
Great intro. Thank you. Great to be with you.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you and so impressed with what you're accomplishing. I just want to tell you as we start, it just hit me. It's really weird. I get real emotional when I see young people just doing things beyond their years and changing the world. And you're a world changer. I cannot even imagine by the time you're my age, which is 100 years from now, the difference you will have made. Andy Frisella just told me this morning that I'm 117 years old. So his birthday was yesterday. And I just cannot even imagine, brother, the impact in the world you're going to be making from now till then is just mind-blowing. So congratulations on your success, too.
Thank you. That means a lot, man. I appreciate it. You look really good for 117.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of growth hormone.
So I want to talk about this. You almost have a healthy obsession, okay, with maximizing your potential and shifting this culture. It's almost an obsession where it's not the success, it's not the money, it's not the houses, it's not the cars, it's knowing you gave your all and achieved what you were capable of and passed it forward to the next generation. Where did that come from? Were you born with that? Where did that come from?
No, was not born with it. And by the way, that's a really good way to say it. I would say it's a healthy obsession. I wouldn't even say it's almost an obsession. I would say it's an obsession. It's grown into an obsession from a curiosity to an interest to something to kind of dominate my life to a full-blown obsession now. Where it came from, I'll give you a quick story. I've never said, I don't think, on any programs. When I was 30, my uncle died at age 50. And I don't know if any of you have this, but they're the kind of person in the family that I look like him. If that makes any sense, like physically resembled him. I was at his funeral. When I was driving back, I was flying back on the airplane. The Oprah Winfrey show was on. My reticular activator in my brain was thinking about hearts because he died of a heart attack. Long story short, they were this new scan that she was promoting on her show. I write it down. I go, I'll go get the scan done. I went and got the scan done. The bottom line is that I had massive blockage in most of my arteries when I was 30 years old and had a couple minor cardiac events that year too. I guess you'd call heart attacks. And something happened then where like my time became more precious. Wow. When you watch someone you love die at 50, your sense of time change. I was like, you know what? I need to get my life in a hurry. I was already pretty wealthy. I was already making 7 figures, but I wasn't maxing out my potential as a man, spiritually, physically, financially, my influence, my reach, my ability to communicate, all those things. And it just started to grow. Like, I don't act like I have forever. And too many people act like they have forever. They just think, I'll get around to it eventually. I'm young. I'm 22. I'm 24. Well, you know, the average person lives 78 years. That's it, right? When you take out sleep, work, traffic, internet, TV, the average person lives 8 years. That's what you get, 8 years of life to live. And so for me, I probably don't even get the full 8 because of my heart. Maybe I get 4. So I want to max out. And so that's not like it's not some stupid thing I put on my hat, right? It's actually what I want to do every day of my life. And if you looked at my schedule, my workout, my friendships, anything you say, he's certainly trying. So that's where it comes from, is a health issue when I was 30.
Interesting. So you use that as a positive. And I love your quote, nothing happens for you. What is it? It happens for you, not to you, right? So a lot of things that you
happen to you, it happens for you, right? Like I was at the gym at 4 a.m. this morning. You know why I was at the gym? Because the doctor who did my scan in the follow-up, he goes, hey, do you have a little girl? I said, no, but my wife's 6 months pregnant. And he goes, do you have any interest in ever walking your daughter down the aisle on her wedding day? And I was like, what the hell? Yeah, of course. And he goes, well, let me just be clear with you. Your current eating and health habits, some other man will walk your daughter down the aisle on your wedding day. I just went, what the hell, right? And it just instantly wound it. So now I'm tired. It's 3:55. I just got up. I was up late last night working. I don't want to go to the gym. I'm not disciplined. I have big reasons. I'm wound with reasons. But Bella's wedding went off in my head this morning. Swear to you, on my daughter. This morning I woke up, Bella's wedding. Boom, get your ass up, get to the gym. So I have big reasons. That's what overrides. Discipline will fail. Reasons will never fail you. When you have big goals, the mistake people make is they think, oh, these freaks, this Alex Rodriguez, this Mylett guy, whatever, we're these freaks of discipline. No, I have massive reasons attached to all of my goals that compel me to take action when I don't feel like it, okay? Because I'm naturally a lazy dude. I like Cheetos. I like the couch. I like naps. I like sleeping, right? I have to override the real me with massive reasons. The heart issue, my daughter, all of that were my reasons.
Well, having people conceptualize that you say you're lazy, they don't believe that, but it's good to hear that you have strong reasons that overpower your current emotions sometimes. Yes. I think that's huge. And there was just a study, by the way, in Fortune magazine, 1,700 new millionaires are created every single day in the US, every day.
Love it.
And they said the number one reason why there's not more is they don't have enough reasons to become a millionaire.
Believe
so
it.
You just hit that.
I believe
you have enough reasons to become a millionaire, you're going to make it.
The people that I know, I just had Paige Hathaway on my show this morning. I released it, right? What's Paige's big reason? Her dad was an alcoholic, and she's been trying to prove something to him since she was that age. She's a fitness icon, right? I could go to Tim Grover. Tim Grover came here from a foreign country, wrote the book Relentless. You could go to Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant has a weird relationship with his dad. You find me a thoroughbred, a champion in anything, I'll show you somebody with massive reasons to win. Look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady's probably the greatest football player in the history of football. Guy was a 6th-round draft pick. He has not let that reason wear out, and he's 40 years old now, dominating the league. Because he's like, you MFers drafted me 6th round? I'm never going to forget that. And he's doing better than guys picked in the 1st round because his reasons are bigger.
Oh, that's huge, man. Reasons come first, results come second. So one thing that stood out with me studying you the last couple of months, Ed, is you can pinpoint where in your career, where in your past, like your experience, you got developed and you started to know yourself. So you said something in one interview. You said because of when you had to help with the boys club, when you were helping some of the dysfunctional teens. And then you said, because of this, I'm compassionate. Because of this, I work hard. Because of this, a lot of people can't pinpoint who they are and how to really develop themselves to be the best they can to max out. So let's talk about some pinpoints. I want to talk about I don't know what it was called when you helped the boys, when your dad told you to go get
McKinley Home for Boys. Was
McKinley Home for Boys.
Yeah, it changed my life.
Yeah, talk about that, because that's kind of where it all started, because not everyone's born being that compassionate. You had to develop that through experiences. So talk about that.
In fact, I don't even know that I had any. So everything happens for you, not to you. Just so all of you that are watching this, I come from an alcoholic family too. I'm going to see my dad today. My dad and I today at 3 o'clock are going to look at my new jet. I just put new interior on it. And I'm showing my dad my new jet. It's kind of a cool thing. We're doing it today. So I was texting my dad before we started. My dad he's been sober 30 years. Bottom line, my dad's alcoholism happened for me, not to me. Let me explain to you why. When I got done playing baseball, I was living at home with my mom and dad, unemployed. My dad just got sober, came home from an AA meeting. He goes, I got you a job at McKinley Home for Boys. I'm like, what the hell is that? He goes, I don't know. Just get your ass over there. I went there the next day through a series of events. I walk into this cottage. McKinley is a campus of group homes, meaning There are hundreds of boys there. All of them were removed from their families. Either parents are incarcerated, dead, or likely molested them. Okay. And so I walk into this cottage and there's these 7 to 10-year-old boys all looking back at me. I was just playing baseball. I was just a guy who was after his own ego and winning. And what took place, man, was I fell in love with these boys. They had the same eyes as me. All kids who come from some kind of abuse, they got different eyes. And instantly I became their dad, their big brother. I was there when they came home from school. I was there on Christmas, not their parents. And it changed my life. And the reason it changed my life was if my dad didn't drink, I'd have never been getting that job because he found me the job at his meeting. And if my dad wasn't an alcoholic, I would have never been able to connect with these boys and understand the anxiety of coming from a broken home. And so I'm not saying the same type of broken home, but all of it in hindsight happened for me. And it changed my life because I fell in love with helping people. I fell in love with serving people. I fell in love with making a difference. It like altered my whole life. And that happened before my business career. And none of that happens if my dad doesn't drink. None of it happens if he's not an alcoholic. And so all life always happens for us, not to us in hindsight. The key to a great life is knowing it in the present moment when it's difficult. And that's the difference between a great life and an average life. A great life is you're self-aware and you go, this is happening for me. What's the reason? What's the meaning? What can I make good from this? My dad has cancer right now. Liposarcoma. What the hell is good about my dad going through chemotherapy? I had to search hard for that one. Well, guess what? We're closer now. I want to win even sooner. Our time together is more precious. My own mortality is affecting me. My relationship with my own kids is different. So there's all kinds of good things, ironically, that have happened from the bad thing of my dad getting cancer and the bad thing of my dad drinking. And so that's what changed my life was the group home.
So where's the flip? Because I see people still to this day, they're the why me, they're the victims. How do they switch from that? Because they're thinking things happen to them and they're unlucky when if they just shifted their perspective, they could be a lot more successful because of that tough time.
Well, here's the thing. All of our life is the meaning we attach to events, bottom line. So you have to ask yourself, you have to honestly be conscious. Does this meaning I've attached, this belief I have serve me? Ask yourself literally that question. Does this serve me to believe this about myself, to believe this about the world? Because there's a thing in our brain called the reticular activating system. Here's what that is. It's a survival mechanism that God gave us to survive. And basically what it does is it filters out the world. That's why you don't feel the blood rushing through your left ear. You're not conscious of your breathing. It also filters things in that are important. This is powerful, okay? That's why when you buy a new car, all of a sudden you see that car everywhere on the freeway, 3 lanes over, wrong side of the road. Those were always there. Why do you all of a sudden see them? Because they become a part of your awareness, okay? That's why when you get scared, you ever been in a house alone, right? You're scared. You hear every damn little noise like it's a burglar. Those noises are there every other night. Why do you hear them that night? Because they're part of your awareness. Your RAS turns on. So that's what beliefs are. So you're right. Whatever you believe, you are literally right because it creates the filter through which your world is revealed to you. So you better be damn careful of what you believe because it's going to reveal to you all of the new cars of your life or not. And so I gather my beliefs. Does this serve me? I'll just give you an example, by the way. I had a very busy week this week and I'm tired. And I told the guy who came over this one, I said, man, I'm really tired. And this is no joke. I said this to the guy. He kind of looked at me like, Ed Mylett just told me he was tired. Like, I didn't expect him to say that. And he walked away from me. I was walking down the stairs, and I literally, I'm not kidding you, right before I came out, I went, what the hell did I say that for? How does it serve me to believe I'm tired today? What's the upside of believing I'm tired? Absolutely jack nothing is good about being tired. I'm not tired. I'm a stud. I'm energized. I'm a grinder. I push through. I do shit nobody is willing to do. That's who I am today. And you can watch my body as I'm saying it. I'm changing. My day is going to be different because I'm not fucking tired today. Excuse my language. Excuse my language. I'm not tired today. Okay. I'm energized. I'm grinding. I'm battling today. I'm not tired. And so the difference in that subtle belief for my day will change everything because otherwise every mistake I make, I go, I'm sorry, man. I'm tired. Whoops. Train of thought. Didn't get enough sleep last night. You ever have those days, right? You feed the belief you have. Nope. I'm grinding. Right. So this interview is going to be awesome because I'm a grinder, not because I'm tired. So that belief serves me.
Huge. Can we say who's waiting for you at your house or no?
Yeah, A-Rod is. Yeah.
So I get on the phone and Ed's like, "Oh, I'll be with you soon." And he's like, A-Rod's waiting for me. I'm like, "Well, that's a lot of pressure for us to deliver while A-Rod's in the background waiting."
By the way, I forgive my language, everybody. I won't cuss again.
It's all good. So I also want to talk about getting into a World Financial Group, because you weren't always outgoing. And I didn't believe that you said people called you Little Eddie and you were shy and had self-esteem issues. I'm like, wait, Ed Mylett, once again, Ed Mylett, shy, little, self-esteem.
Yeah.
So before we preface like the real tactics and value of building an 8-figure business, I just want to preface all the experiences that shaped you and molded you into who you are today. Yeah. So Little Eddie, after the McKinley boys, you get a call that there's a job opening and you're a little bit skeptical. Walk us through that, and then how you built that the first year or two.
Yeah, a lot skeptical. My family is not a family that's about making money. In fact, I've had this jet I'm taking my dad to for 6 months, and it's parked, I'm not joking, 10 minutes from his house, and he's still never seen it. And even today I said, hey, I'm gonna go look at the new interior on the jet, right? My dad goes, cool, come by for a bite after. I swear to you. And I'm like, Dad, do you want to see it? Yeah, sure. So there's no material drive in my family. That's not a bad thing. Our family's about family. And many of you probably come from that. They don't relate to what I'm trying to do, right? So I think the shift for me, when I got into business, I was very skeptical, because making money, sales, anything like that, my family's not down with any of that stuff. What I found in the business that I liked was it helped people and I could compete. I was a former athlete. I want to do something where I can compete. You can even tell when I talk, I get a little riled up, right? Like, I want a game. Like, if we were golfing, I want to beat you, and we're not just playing for fun. We're playing for something. We're playing ping pong. We're going to go swim in the ocean out here, which is right behind me. The speaking thing, I want Alex to do really well, and I want Gerard to crush this talk, but I want to do better than that, right? I want to compete. And you say, but well, you should only compete against your own standard. I do, but I also compete against other people. There's no reason why you can't do both. I want to beat everybody else and do my best, okay? And so what I found about the business I loved is I could compete and get after it and be measured against somebody. What I don't like about a job is no one's really measured. Everyone just kind of gets paid to be there. I want to be paid based on my productivity. So I loved that part of it, because I knew I'd outwork people. And then I loved the helping people part, because my life changed when I started helping these little boys. Because what I found out about my boys, they just wanted someone to love them, care about them, and believe in them, right? And what I found out about adults, you want to be a great leader in business? People need to know that you love them, you care about them, and you believe in them. And then you can challenge them. People mistake that. They're always challenging people. If I don't know you love me, believe in me, and care about me, you start challenging me, I will be repelled by you. So I sow the seeds big time of love and caring and believing in people way before I challenge them. And your own example has to be stellar for them to respect you, right? Because otherwise, if you push me and I don't respect, it's like going to the gym and your trainer's fat, right? Am I really respect you? Like, you're telling me how to get fit. You don't even embody it, literally embody it. So as a leader, you got to embody it. You got to love them, care them, and believe in them. Those are my foundations in everything I do. Like, how did I start the interview with you? I started out by saying, I'm so proud of you, right? What you're doing, where you're going to go. It's just my routine, my ritual is to love on people, is to believe in them, is to care about them, not as a tactic. In fact, it might even start out for you as a tactic, but anything you do tactically long enough becomes part of who you are. So I'll do it with a server in the restaurant. Miguel's out here. He just showed up, the guy who does my yard. And he always tells me, I love to see Mr. Mylett. I'm like, why? He does everything. He goes, you always make me feel good. You never complain, right? He messes stuff up in my yard. I'm telling him, hey, Miguel, thank you. You do such a great job, man. You're busting your ass. Do you need a soda? Do you need a beer? Do you want some water? Like, what can I get for you? I'm always trying to just give out that kind of stuff to the world, because that's, if today were my last day, and it could be, do I want to be one of these, people who are curmudgeon and rude and mean, or I don't want to elevate people, and I want to elevate people.
And it's funny, on your Instagram, you did a post about a lady in a hotel, the cleaning lady.
Oh, yeah, Andrea.
And Andrea, and you were saying, thank you so much for going the extra mile. And then it's really cool, because I looked at her profile and I'm like, this is awesome. It reminds me that even if they're doing work that other people wouldn't do, they're real people.
Absolutely. And here's what I love.
That was awesome, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I love greatness displayed anywhere. So there's a teacher at my kids' school who my kids have never had, but I watch her at all these assemblies. She dresses meticulously, man. She handles herself so professionally, right? She's never been my kid's teacher. I just ran into her at the store and I'm like, do you teach it? And she's like, oh my gosh, I follow you on Instagram. I'm like, no. let me just tell you how unbelievable you are. I remember you the last 4 years. You never even been my kid's teacher. Miguel, my landscaper, the lady who cleans my room, to you. Greatness at your chosen craft is something I admire. Even if you're in a restaurant, man, you know this too. There's been like 3 or 4 servers in your life. You're like, I can't believe this person's a server. My God, they're so talented. They're so good. They stand out. I always want to acknowledge greatness. A-Rod is no different than Andrea. They just chose different careers. That's all. He played baseball and real estate, and she, because of circumstance, she cleans rooms at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, right? But they're both great at what they do. One human being is not superior to the other. So I love them both.
So a lot of people want to become people developers. So one thing you said too that stood out that I want you to kind of hit on is when you're trying to lift somebody up and you're building a team, you're building A players, you can't believe in somebody unless you attach something that you believe in to something they feel like they're good at. Can you talk about that? Because a lot of people try to motivate and they're like, why isn't my team producing? Why don't they believe in me? I'm telling them that I believe in them, but they're not actually being authentic, or they're not hitting what they fully believe about themselves yet. So do you remember talking about that?
Authentic. So here's the deal. As a Christian who just cussed 5 minutes ago, by the way, I believe that so whether you're a Christian or not, doesn't matter whether you're religious. I'll give you the religious view than the non-religious. As a Christian, I believe that you're literally a descendant of Christ. His DNA runs through you, which means you got great gifts, great blessings that he sowed into you. If you don't believe in your faith, you believe you have talents. Every human being is wired with some sort of natural giftedness, their proclivity to speak, their intensity, compassion, math skills, nurturing skills, engineering skills, whatever it is, okay? All right. Your job as a leader is not to vanilla. Hey, I believe in you, champion. You're great. Go, go, go. That carries no weight with anybody. Your job as a leader is to get to know somebody and identify their actual natural giftedness, okay? And the thing they already know to be true about them when you say it. Like if you said to a guy, hey, kind of father you are, man, kind of husband, how much you love your children. He goes, I do love my children. That's why you're going to win at this. And you link the thing they intuitively know to be their giftedness to what you want them to do, that changes identity. So the way to move somebody to lead them is identify their real gift and then attach it to the task you want them to do and get them to believe that that's the reason why they'll win, and they believe it. Anything other than that is false, rah-rah, blah, blah, blah stuff. What's crazy is it's true. I really did win because of my intensity. If you grabbed me at 22 when I found the business I'm in, you said, you know why you're going to win, man? You're going to outwork everybody. You work so hard on yourself because your self-esteem is so low. You outwork everybody on personal development. You're going to crush it because you're competitive. And damn, are you intense? And I'd go, I am those 4 things. You just changed my belief to do it. But if you said, hey, you're going to do this because you're so warm, you have such a beautiful face, people just love you naturally, I'd be like, no, they don't. I don't have a lovable face. I got a face you got to acquire like after a while, right? I got an intense face, right? And so when you link it to something that's true, you get monster belief. And I do that even when I speak. When I speak at this thing, I'll remind myself of my giftedness as a speaker. I'm so damn intense. God gave me a great deep voice, right? I know my content. I believe in what I'm going to say. I'm anointed, right? God gave me this just absolute blessing to communicate, to put words together. And I remind myself, I go out there confident when I do it. That's how I overcome my shyness.
Huge, man. I love that. And I love the intensity, by the way. I can match that. I love it. So you became one of the company's youngest CEO marketing directors, obviously built your net worth while creating one of the most successful teams on the planet that your company's ever seen. Do you remember the tipping point from going from a little bit stressed and broke to your first big success? Obviously, you built up, but there's a lot of people in sales, direct sales, network marketing on this call that have done well, but they're kind of in their mind capped out and they can't get to that next peak and next level. So I want to try to uncover and figure out why that is, because you're continuing to hit levels and knock levels over because of who you are. So let's start back. Do you remember the tipping point? Obviously, your first couple of years, you said, which people need to hear, wasn't that good. There's
lots of I was broke. So totally broke. I had the water turned off. I had the power turned off. You can have everything turned off, man. You can get usually water. If you get your water turned off, you are screwed. So I know you've heard me talk about this, but we had the power turned off a few times. I had my cell phone turned off. I was behind on rent. But when we had our water turned off, that was the most humiliating thing, because my wife and I have to get up in the morning and go down to the pool at our apartment building and shower in this outdoor shower, brush our teeth there. then have to gather my stuff back up, walk back up to the apartment, and then go out and pretend I was going to be successful. It was the most incongruent, emasculating, shameful time of my life. I couldn't even provide water for my wife. And so it was horrible. I had tipping points. There is not one. But I'm going to tell you the formula for me, all of you that are building a team, and this is the part that you're going to have to accept. And it takes on twofold. Most of you are so obsessed with everybody else thinks about you while you're living that when you're dead, nobody's going to think about you because you didn't accomplish anything. The crime in life is spending our lifetime worrying about what other people think about us because those people never accomplish anything. And then when they're dead, nobody spends 2 seconds thinking about them. So if you want to continue to be obsessed with everybody thinks about you, I promise you that will stop when you die because you haven't accomplished anything. Hopefully that digs deep enough for you to stop this stupid behavior because it's finally stopped for me. The second thing is, let me just tell you the bottom line. You have to save money. You have to save money. You have to stop trying to look rich and actually get rich. So the tipping points for me, when you just said it, just so you know how my mind works, every one of them were savings goals. I remember the time I saved my first 10 grand, my first 100 grand, my first million, my first 10 million, my first 100 million. And when I say this, this is when everybody on the call glazes over and stops paying attention because God bless you. We're brothers and sisters here. None of you are saving any money. None of you. Okay. And you're never going to be successful if you don't start. If you can't save money when you make a little, you will spend it all when you make a lot. So my tipping points, my confidence came from, oh my God, I got $10,000 saved. I got $20,000 saved. I got 50. I got 100,000. I remember when I had 100 grand saved, I'm like, oh my God, I could never be broke again. 100 grand? Are you kidding me? Right? And so now that's the property taxes for 6 months on this house that we're sitting in. Right? But at that time, all of the dreams I've had have come with saving money. There's all kinds of people on social media say, spend all your money, buy Lamborghinis, buy Ferraris, make sure you get a jet. Let me be clear with all of you. My oceanfront beach house here, I own free and clear. My lake house in Coeur d'Alene that you and I are talking about off camera, I own free and clear. All my cars, all 3 of my boats, my jet, I own free and clear. I have no debt, okay? The scriptures tell us, owe no man nothing. The only debt you should ever have is on an appreciating asset like a piece of real estate. But the majority of you are more concerned with looking rich than getting rich. So all of my tipping points involve saving money. And you go, well, do you know how powerful it is if you're just even saving $50 a month? $50 a month, $80 a month, $100 a month, $500 a month. Your life will begin to change. Your confidence level will go up. It's the least sexy, least taught thing on all social media is save your money. Save it. You go, well, I'm not making any to save. I got that. Save $25 a month. Start brown bagging it. Don't go to Starbucks. Make your coffee at home. Drop DirecTV. You ain't watching it anymore anyways, okay? Do something to save money, and you are doing what wealthy people do. Not the fake people on social media, real wealthy people. People ask me, why do you think your social media has grown? I'm going to tell you straight up why. Because I'm actually really rich, okay? Like when they hear me talk, they go, wow, this dude's real. I don't tell you that to brag. I tell you that because there's so many fake BSers out there on social media that have no money. None. And they're trying to tell you how to get successful. And so the tipping points are all around savings. If you ask me right now, what's your next? If you ask Alex Rodriguez, what is he obsessed with? He'll tell you saving and investing money. Okay. You want to know what Phil Knight's obsessed with? Doing something great with his life and saving and investing money. Phil has a $17 to $30 billion net worth. Okay. And his personal residence would not overwhelm you. He's about saving money, okay? It's the boring part of the interview, and it's the truest part. People glaze over when it comes to savings because they don't really, you know why? Most people don't really ever expect to actually win. So why save money? I'm really probably not going to win, so why save? I actually really expected to win, so I save. That's the tipping points for me.
Huge. I hope you guys conceptualize that because there was a point in my career, Ed, where literally 23, 24, making 6 figures. I got, and I say this in my book and a lot of the other podcasts I've been a part of, I got more joy and more fulfillment and more confidence when I saved and invested than when I spent. Yes. More of my confidence came from saving. So it's interesting you say that. I didn't know it was a wealthy trend. It just happened to me.
Bro, they're addicted. And it's what we talk about when we're alone. We don't talk about our jets and our Ferraris and our houses. We talk about our wealth and our savings. And by the way, everybody, any of you can do it. I have a brother-in-law who is an airplane mechanic for American Airlines, and he was in my business in the beginning but didn't make it. But he took the principles from our business of saving money. He's a cash millionaire and owns his house free and clear. He's wealthier than many of my friends who make 7 figures. Wow. He has a better life, more peace of mind. Save your money, really get wealthy, really get rich. Start out by getting financially independent, right? Just start out by saving money. Don't let all these people on social media convince you to spend all your money or invest it in aggressive things that you don't understand. Save it. So
love it. That's huge. So let's do some quick like rapid fire questions from some of the Academy members. We have some really good ones I'm excited to hear the answer to.
Sure.
Like I said, there's a lot of network marketing superstars, a lot of direct sales superstars. Here's a question from Justin Weeks. Something I struggle with is systemizing my activity and duplicating myself in others. I want everyone to reach the same levels as me in my company. What's the best way to keep your business simple and systematic so it can be duplicated through your organization?
Yeah, too many of us in these businesses are personality driven, right? And so the thing as a leader that I'm most focused on when I was building my business was, is this skill transferable? Not, does it work? So what most people do is, what's the best phone script? What's the best presentation to get a result? No, is it transferable to other people, right? And so the biggest thing that I try to do is always think about it like I'm a Starbucks. Can this thing crank out thousands of cups of coffee? Not necessarily the best cup of coffee. Starbucks is not the best coffee, right? Not at all. They crank out the most of it. Their system is turnkey. And so what I would tell you to do is, the first thing I would do is, all of your system needs to be in writing, okay? And it must be matched with audio and video content. And so one of the things that people don't do enough of in their business is they teach it like what we're doing right now, brother, is it's me and you talking and people receiving information. You retain about 20% of that. The way you keep your system turnkey and duplicatable is constantly role playing it. Role play is the key to transferring skill, not listening. Some people are auditory, they learn by hearing. Some people are visual, some have to feel it. Everybody learns through role play. So when you're listening or hearing or watching, that does not mean that you are now transferring the skill. Skill is transferred through actually doing the work. It's like my son right now is learning to drive. He's 16. There's no—
That's scary.
By the way, and if you knew him, it's even more scary, right? But the fact is, he can't learn that by me and him talking about it, right? I could show him it. I can show him a video. We could talk. He could read a script. He could read a book. You have to actually drive the car with me sitting there, and we role play it, right? Same in your business. So probably your business, more than anything, lacks role play interactive work with people. And it's more like, here's a video, here's a download, here's something to read. How much of it do you do that's role play to make it transferable? Because by the way, through role play, you'll be able to delineate whether or not it's simple and transferable enough or too complicated. You won't know it when you're talking it and showing it.
And let me say this, that's not easy. That takes real work and hours.
Yes.
So, and Justin's someone that I know personally that puts in the hours, but a lot of people don't want to do that because it's real, actual work with your team. Well, not just, hey, do this.
When we're in front of our group, we always want to show off our energy level. We want to show off our intensity, our motivation skills. And here's the thing, and if you're in these businesses, what happens is your existing team around you gets tired of hearing the same things from you, so you decide to get creative. Listen to me very closely. Your businesses, for the most part, are about saying the same old things to new people, not new things to old people. So the mistake people make in direct selling or network marketing or even real estate or insurance businesses, they're constantly trying to say new things to old people instead of old things to new people. You got to get new people and say the same old things over and over and over again, and not fatigue on the monotony of the same simple things over and over again, because you're no longer entertained with it. Remember this. Most people haven't heard 99% of what you know. And if they have heard it, you need new people.
I love that.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to read all the comments, but it would take too long. There's a lot of people fired up and excited. So there's 3 or 4 people, and I'm sure you could guess this, Ed, that are asking, literally, Christina, Casey, Cindy, number one thing, how to find top-notch A players to join my team. I'd like to know how Ed would network to find these A players and building his business. Looking forward to it. My question is similar to Casey's. How to attract successful A players? while building up my story. That's really it. How to build your unique story.
Yep.
How to find A players and game changers.
Okay, I'll give you two things. I'll give you, this is great stuff. I'm going to give you the philosophical version, and then I'll give you a tactic. Okay? Philosophically, for the first 10 years of my career, I wanted recruits. I wanted new people. I wanted to attract people. They were extremely vanilla in my mind. In other words, they were just people. It's very difficult for your brain to process that RAS. See, earlier when I said when you buy a new car, what do you see? Do you know why you see it? Because you bought a specific car, a blue Honda. Then you see blue Hondas freaking everywhere, okay? This is important. But what I was always looking for was new cars, new agents. That's a vanilla file. My RAS doesn't even look for it. Does that make sense to everybody? So Tony Robbins, actually, 1,000,000 years ago, I recruited to become part of our company. And he goes, so who's the ideal recruit? No one had ever asked me that before. And I went, I don't know. And he goes, you don't know? Like exactly. I go, well, successful. He goes, that's his bullshit answer. What does that even mean? Because you want them to be rich? Then they don't have any work ethic anymore. He goes, exactly who are you looking for, dude? And he asked me directly, he goes, this was 100 years ago. He goes, man or woman? I went, are you kidding? He goes, no, man or woman? What he was doing was to get me clear on my blue Honda so I could see him everywhere. I went, at the time, I said man. Nowadays, I'd say woman. But at the time I was young, I said male. He goes, short or tall? I went, are you kidding me? He goes, short or tall? I go, well, I'm not that tall. I want some tall guys. He goes, okay, tall. He goes, white or minority? I'm like, are you kidding me? I go, well, I'm white, minority. And he goes, okay, what's their background? Like engineer? What? He goes, nah. I go, no, I'd rather be like an athlete or military or something like that. He goes, okay. And he made me get specific of the profile. Y'all listening to me? All of a sudden, I start seeing athletic, minority, military, stud, dudes freaking everywhere. Blue Hondas galore because my reticular activator can find them now. And when you're looking for someone and you meet them, there's instant rapport because they sense energy-wise they're exactly who you're looking for. And then it gets better. Then they meet each other at your meeting and go, oh, I'm not the only one like me here. And there begins to be this team that starts to look at each other that gels. So my point to you, now if you ask me, I'd say female, minority, sales, bilingual. That's what my answer would actually be, right? Okay, female, sales background, bilingual. All right. Having said that, though, who exactly are you looking for? Stop saying good people. Stop saying successful. Stop saying hardworking. Your brain can't find those. Okay? Exactly. Describe them. By the way, it's okay to have two. I want athletic, male, good-looking, sales background, deep voice. I want female, bilingual, mother, single mom, whatever. You'll begin to see them everywhere. That's number one. Number two is you must go where they are regularly. So for me, I would pick places where these people would appear, whether that be the same gym. For me, let me give you a great tip. You must frequent the same places regularly, and people go from your cold market to your natural market when they see you more than once. So what I would do is I'd pick the same Starbucks, for example, for about 8 weeks in a row. I'd go in, I'd get my cup of coffee, and I'd sit there. And guess who comes in? Guess what human beings are? They're very ritualistic. The same people go to the same Starbucks at the same time every day. Did you know that? They go to the same restaurant at the same time every day. They go to the gym at the same time, same place every day. So I would get my coffee and sit in there, and a stud would walk in there, 6'3", African-American. Hey, brother, good morning. I'd just say good morning the first time. Next day, he'd say, hey, man, good to see you again. And I'd see this dude 3, 4, 5 times because I'm in the same chair at the same place at the same time, and he's in the same line because he goes there every damn day. I'd put myself in the same seat. Y'all following me? The first day he walked in, he was cold to me. The second day, a little warmer. The third day, and once finally he's in line, I go, hey, man, what do you do? I see you in here every day. You're dressed sharp. Oh, man, I'm in the mortgage business. I go, cool. What's the name of the company? Oh, here, give me your card. Or, hey, what, are you on social media? And we start to connect that way. So it's putting myself in the same places where these people would be. I'd also join a YPO or one of these different places where there are people just like you in those places, but go there regularly where they be. If you want fit people, go to the gym, right? Go to the same place regularly every day at the same time, and you are likely to see the same people, and they move over a week or two from cold to natural to warm. That's 2 tips for you.
Huge. I love it. That's awesome. John Kennelly, when storytelling in the early stages of developing your online brand, social media wise, is it better to take your audience back to the beginning of your journey for context, or start where you are today and move forward? He feels stuck not knowing where to start on social media.
Yeah, great point. Unless there's a compelling finish, I'd be where I am now. In other words, that's your old story. And unless you've already won, it's not all that inspiring. And so if it were me, I would be, I also, by the way, believe in the adage, and I do believe this, in posting 3 business to 1 social, 3 business to 1 social. So being regularly, making me a real person as well. I'd be posting where I am 80% of the time and where I was 20% of the time. It's always cool after watching 8 or 10 posts from somebody to have a nostalgia throwback at you when you're 6 years old sitting in a floating pool or something, right? It's just like, oh, there he is. But then right back to now all the time. Because what's going to magnetize somebody to you is now. The next thing you've got to do on social media, you must force yourself, which you're doing by being part of this amazing group. So salute you for creating this, brother, and the people involved. Drop my computer there. The people involved is you must collaborate with people. You must force collaborations. Can you still hear me okay?
Yep, I'm good.
Okay. You must force collaboration. I don't care if it's a little interview, a little social sharing. Hey, post me, I'll post you. Let's connect. You've got to start to collaborate. My social media following has been mainly done through collaboration with other people that were at my level or ahead of me regularly. And you just got to keep asking and asking and asking, because it's part of knocking on the door. Much more compelling is your current story. And by the way, you posting about where you're going too. It's interesting for those of you on social. At your meetings in your business, whatever your business is, you're talking all the time about where you're going, aren't you? We're heading there 2 months from now, 6 months from now. Here's the plan. Here's the vision. Yet you don't do that on your social media. Almost nobody does. You want to get my attention? Say, hey guys, let me tell you where we are right now. I'm right here in my business, but in 6 months, this is where I'm going to be. We're opening offices in these 3 places, or we're going here. You start painting a vision. I go, that's interesting. So what's most interesting to me is your current situation. Next is your future situation, least of which is your past situation.
Love it. That's huge. And what I see on yours too is a lot of variety where you're documenting your success. You're at your lake house in Coeur d'Alene, showing the views, talking about what you're doing that day. You're also giving value. So you have a really good mix. So there's a lot of variety. No one's going to be bored on your story. Yeah,
I think that there's an unfair aspect, though, to a dude like me who jumps in, who's got cool stuff to show. So I'm more, you know what I mean? Like, of course, if we flip this around, there's the ocean out there. That's kind of cool and makes what I'm saying have more credibility. But what do you do when you don't have a jet, when you don't have the ocean? You got to talk about where you're going. You got to provide value. You got to collaborate. You got to be entertaining. And you got to get attention. People don't do business anymore with people they trust. People do business with people they know, that they know. They trust people they know. They must see more of you. And so you got to get your stuff out there. You got to force it out there.
Huge. Quick question, then we'll end it with one thing. I know you have to go in a couple minutes. Eric says, getting down to the brass tacks of all of what he's looking to accomplish, he needs smart advice on how to make large chunks of money grow aside from itself. Basically, how to make his money work for him. He has a good amount saved.
Wonderful, man.
A couple $100,000, and he wants to know how to make it work for him because he's a little bit confused.
Yeah, well, I'm licensed to sell investments and securities, so I can't give you a specific recommendation without giving you some paperwork, but I can tell you what I did. How's that? Okay. So I'm a big believer. The first rule of money is don't lose it. You've worked so hard to save it. So my dad used to tell me, number one, he still does, don't put money in things you don't understand. I mean that sincerely, by the way. Do not put your money in something because your buddy's in it or everyone else is doing it. People say to me, did you make money in crypto? Right? It's a big thing right now. Not for a long time I didn't, because I didn't understand it. And I have recently. And so I am involved in that space to an extent. Here's my best answer for you, okay? Overall, I'd invest in real estate. Alex Rodriguez, when he was a rookie and 19 years old, bought his first duplex, just a 2-unit building, okay? And that started the journey. I said, why'd you do it? He goes, I was afraid I was going to go broke and I'd spend the money. And so the cool thing about real estate, multi-unit real estate, even if it's a couple $100,000, you partner with another person. Now you both got $500,000 and you borrow the difference, okay? The cool thing about multi-unit real estate is it pays you a monthly income. For the most part, okay, number one. Number two, eventually it's likely to appreciate. But even if the asset, real estate's the only asset that, and by the way, I don't sell real estate. I sell investments. I sell insurance, right? But real estate is the only investment that even if the asset drops in value, the cash flow can remain the same. Pretty cool. So you're not so caught up in what the asset does as long as it's still cash flowing. And so what I'd be doing if I was you, if I had a couple $100,000, I would try to find a duplex. I don't like single unit stuff, a duplex or a triplex or a fourplex in an area. Maybe you partner with another person and you do something along those lines to create cash flow for yourself. And you also don't buy something so extensive it takes up your time with needing to manage it or repair it. Okay, so that's what I did. My net worth is significantly higher than they report in some of these meetings. And the reason is it's almost impossible to measure what the real estate is worth. So
love it. That's a huge, I appreciate that. And a lot of people too, and we'll end with this, is because I want to give them something tactical where they're excited to leave this call and really go max out and take action. So Matt asked about, you've achieved in multiple areas of your life at a peak level. What would you deem as your top peak performance foundations, like your non-negotiables? And one of my questions was similar to what you talked about, how business people are athletes. Like they should, the morning routine, athletes train like business people. Business people should train like athletes. So you think you need to be an athlete these days to really be successful. Talk about some peak performance habits and morning routines, and then we'll kind of end on that.
Okay, cool. So along those lines, and I'm not plugging this, but we're going to do it anyway. I have a book coming out in about 30 days.
I'm excited for that.
Called Max Out. And all it is strategies. Like literally some of the stuff I just talked about with your brain, my morning routine, evening routine, self-confidence building, fitness, you name it. So, and I'll send you the book. So just, if you go to edmylett.com, just put your email in there. You'll be the first to know about it when it comes out. How's that? Okay. So that'll help you a great deal. 70-page book, just every damn page is just strategy stuff. However, having said that, I have two big foundations. And this one I talk about in the book too, but you'll never exceed your identity. You're just never going to exceed your identity, period, end of story. Your identity is how your self-worth, how you feel about yourself. You've heard me say this before. I'm looking at this thermostat. By the way, it's 100 degrees in this room right now. That thermostat is set at a temperature, okay? That is going to be the temperature in this damn room. If I open up the door and hot air comes in here, it still regulates it back to the temperature. Hot air could be in life. It's going good. You have more team, more money, more income, more success. You will find a way to cool your life right back down to the set temperature. The reverse is also true in your life. If I open this door and cold air blew, and the cold air of life is failure, rejection, setbacks, people quitting on you in your business, whatever, you find a way eventually to heat the room back up, your life to the set temperature. So the key in your life, the governor on your life, is the temperature. And the temperature is adjusted through association. That's why I'm such a freak about who I'm around, because you couldn't be around me all day and not eventually start to change the temperature at which you're comfortable. The other thing is, by doing a short amount of stuff in a little window of time can alter your identity as well with nobody around you. Okay. So morning, my biggest thing in the morning, I do some crazy stuff. So when I get up in the morning, the first rule is I am not going to react to my day. I don't check my phone the first 30 minutes. It's the hardest damn thing in the world. But when I get up, essentially my routine, you can go to my podcast and listen to the specifics of it. It's on there now. It's in the new book. But when I get up, I basically drink a bunch of water. I hydrate the heck out of myself in the right first thing I do. Then I do some prayer and meditation, and I jump in something cold. Cold air, cold bath, cold shower, cold ocean, cold lake, cold plunge. A fight or flight response kicks in. You're cellularly activated. You are alive, awake, and crazy. So I do something cold. I do some stretching, and I work out every morning. If you can control the first 30 minutes of your day and the last 30 minutes of your day, you're more likely to have control over the middle of it. So I'm a ritual freak. First 30, last 30 of every single day. The last 30 is completely opposite. I do warm things at night, warm sauna, warm shower, warm whatever, but I sleep with the room cold. All of it's in the book. What you have to do, you already have a routine. You're just not in control of it. What you do is you wake up and grab your phone and see the 3 texts on there you're now stressed about. Then you turn the TV on and watch some crap about LeBron James and the news, and you're stressed, and then you kind of stretch out, but you brush your teeth in the same order as you, when you get in the shower, you literally put the soap on the same part of your body at the same time. You wash your hair before you soap, or you soap before you wash your hair. You do it already. The question is, does that routine serve you? What routine would serve you? The one I have on my podcast, the one I have in my book serves me. It's similar to Tony Robbins. It's similar to Tim Ferriss. It's similar to Grant Cardone. It's similar to many people that I know. Is the first 30 minutes of my day. Those are my foundations. But the biggest foundation for me is how to change my self-confidence, which is keeping the promises you make to yourself. Self-confidence is the process of keeping promises you make to you. When I meet a self-confident person, that is a self-trusting person. When I meet someone who lacks self-confidence, typically they haven't kept promises they make to themselves. So my trifecta is my body, okay, my self-confidence, and my identity. Those three things are my governors of my personal development.
Huge. I hope you guys conceptualize the importance of this. You're looking at a man that has built a world-class, not business, but a world-class life where he's fulfilled. He has self-esteem. He loves what he does. He wakes up not for the money, for the legacy, for his last name, not his first name. So Ed, I don't want to take any more of your time. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart for not just being an amazing business person, but an amazing dad and an amazing human being first before anything else. So all love, man. I'm excited to promote your book and help you in any way I can.
Bro, I think you're incredible. And look, I've done a lot of shows, everybody. You go back and watch them. I'm going to tell you something. This dude's the real deal right here. I'm so impressed with you. You and I need to be doing some stuff together. I got to get you on my program when it's appropriate for both of us. And if there's anything I can do for all of you watching this to help you through my social or YouTube or any of that other stuff, I'm just here to help you. I'm here to try to, improve your life just a little bit if I can. And just everybody, I just want to say one last thing to you. When you watch people like me on here, it would appear as if all our lives are perfect. Okay. I'm a human being. I have good and bad days. I make mistakes. I just want you to all understand something, that life is not all perfect for any of us. And it's how we respond and react and take control of our lives that make the difference. I'm just like you. I have the same fears, same insecurities. We all come from a different place, but we end up in the same place. And so we have to help each other get to the best place while we're here on earth. And so I'm just here to help you and serve you. So God bless all of you. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. You're just like everybody else, but you're also a rare breed.
So are you.
All love, man. Thank you. And yeah, I look forward to connecting with you, and we'll talk soon.
God bless everybody.
See you, Ed. What shifted your emotional frequency at a higher level. And for you guys, the goal is to operate with clarity and understand that everything you're doing is to become a game changer for you, for your family, for your team, for society. So I want you to continue to think and act like game changers. But I have a ton of notes. I'm going to rewatch this. We're going to get all the highlights out to you guys in the scripted document. But my challenge, what's the one or two things that made the biggest difference for you, that you feel like if you executed is going to make the biggest ROI for your life and your business based on what stage you're at, okay? My challenge, don't wait till your back's against the wall. Don't wait till you're frustrated. Don't wait till your kids don't know who you are. Don't wait till you're unhealthy to be healthy. I challenge you to tell yourself now matters more than ever. If you're not making six figures yet, which most of you are, figure out why. If you're not making seven, there's always a reason for everything. And you guys have to understand, either you're truly moving forward or you're not. Either you're truly stepping up or you're backing down. And I get so passionate because seeing someone like Ed pour his heart out to you guys, it's a shame if you don't execute and take action. I know you guys are the cream of the crop that do, but I challenge you to get real with yourself. What do you need to execute that's going to make the biggest difference for your success in your life for the next 6 months, 1 year, 3, 5, 10, 20 years as well? I want to go over all the notes, but we'll do that at a later time. So make sure you comment on the Facebook group what your biggest breakthrough is. Thank Ed. Follow him on all social media. But I appreciate you guys for being game changers. We have a lot more coming up, and continue to think and act like a game changer because the world needs you operating at your absolute best. So thanks again, guys, and we'll talk to you guys soon.